The Two Apples and the Lesson of Kindness. Once upon a time there were two brothers. The elder brother was generous and kind-hearted, while the younger brother was selfish, only thinking of himself. One day the two brothers were traveling across a desert and unfortunately lost their way. They wandered for a long time, but couldn't find a way out. Soon the water they had brought ran out, and both fell into panic and confusion. In despair, they gazed at the vast, endless desert and cried out loudly, "Oh heavens, are we destined to perish here? Will any divine being come to save us?" To their surprise, as soon as they finished speaking, an old man with snow-white hair appeared. The brothers were so overjoyed that they wept tears of relief. They quickly said to the old man, "We are lost in this desert. Please help us." The old man replied, "I was passing by and heard your cries. Since fate has brought us together, I will help you this time." Hearing this, the two brothers eagerly awaited his assistance. The old man then said, "Keep walking straight ahead. You will find an apple tree with two apples on it, one big and one small. Whoever eats the bigger apple will safely escape the desert, while the one who eats the smaller apple will leave peacefully without any pain." After saying this, the old man disappeared. No matter how much they called for him, he did not reappear. The brothers looked at each other without saying a word and began walking in silence. Finally, after a long journey, they indeed found an apple tree with two apples, one large and one small. However, due to the exhaustion of their journey, both were too weak to reach out and pick the apples. As night fell, the two brothers lay silently on the desert ground, gazing at the sky without speaking a word. They both understood that this might be their last night together. Deep down, they knew that only the one who ate the larger apple could escape the desert. The other, whether they chose to eat the smaller apple to leave peacefully or simply die of thirst, could not avoid death. Yet, throughout the night, neither brother reached for the apples. They quietly fell asleep. No one knew how much time had passed, but as the sun slowly rose, a ray of light shone on the younger brother's face, waking him up. Groggily, he discovered that his elder brother was no longer beside him. Looking around, he realized that the larger apple was gone. Immediately, he was filled with anger and disbelief. He couldn't accept that his kind and generous elder brother had become selfish in the face of life and death. He regretted not waking up earlier to take the larger apple and leave the desert himself. After a while, his anger subsided. He thought, "If I cannot escape this desert, I might as well eat the smaller apple and leave peacefully." He quietly approached the apple tree, picked the smaller apple, and ate it with a heavy heart. After finishing the apple, the younger brother didn't immediately resign himself to death. Instead, he decided to keep walking forward, thinking that wherever he fell would be his final resting place. Unexpectedly, after some distance, he saw someone lying in the desert. As he approached, he was shocked to realize it was his elder brother. It was then that he noticed the elder brother was holding an apple, one smaller than the one he had eaten. Suddenly he understood. He had wrongly blamed his elder brother. Overwhelmed with emotion, he realized that his kind and generous elder brother hadn't changed even in the face of life and death. His brother had intentionally chosen the smaller apple to leave the larger one for him. Understanding the truth, the younger brother felt a surge of strength. Without hesitation, he threw away the remaining small piece of apple and carried his brother on his back, walking swiftly forward. At that moment, he no longer felt tired. The only thought in his mind was to bring his brother out of the desert as quickly as possible. In the end, whether by the old man's silent assistance or sheer determination, the younger brother managed to carry his elder brother out of the desert and safely back home. Back home, thanks to his younger brother's care, the elder brother quickly recovered. The two brothers embraced and wept tears of boundless happiness. From that day on, the younger brother was no longer selfish. He became as generous and kind-hearted as his elder brother. As the ancients said, all blessings in life come from the kind intentions within your heart. In truth, all of us long to be understood, trusted, and forgiven when we make mistakes. But while we hold on to these desires, have we ever asked ourselves, how have I treated others? Have I acted with kindness and considered others' feelings? When you genuinely act from a place of kindness and think of others, you will undoubtedly touch their hearts. In return, you will receive their goodwill and kindness as well. There is an old saying, "Do not impose on others what you do not desire for yourself." If you haven't achieved what you desire, could it be because you simply wish for it without truly working to change yourself? Perhaps we should ask ourselves, what can I do to become deserving of what I long for? When we put ourselves in others' shoes and empathize with them, I believe we will earn the things we truly wish for in our hearts. In reality, whether it's the desire to be understood, trusted, or forgiven, these things are like a refreshing stream. Only when you carefully cradle it in your hands can you savor its sweetness. If you let it slip away, the stream will spill onto the ground and can no longer quench your thirst. Another saying goes, "The heavenly way is impartial, but it always favors the kind-hearted." Believe that the way of the heavens is fair and just, yet it will always favor those who are compassionate. Keep kindness in your heart, and goodness will always accompany you. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you won't miss other philosophical stories. See you in the next video.